recording. Some of you had trouble with this one. So first off, we change from a decimal to a percent, just like what we did up here. We times it by 100, so we get 12.5%. It's okay to have a decimal as a percentage. Don't round it up to 13. Okay. To put this into a fraction, you would do 125 over what? 1,000. Why 1,000? Because there's 3 decimal places. It's in the thousandth column, thousandth place. So that's why you put it over 1,000. This, though, you have to reduce. You could actually keep reducing by 5, by 5, by 5. Or you could actually divide everything by 125. 125 goes into 1,000 8 times. So when you divide it, you reduce this down to 1 over 8. And then as a ratio, now that we have the fraction, this is simply 1 to 8 with a colon in between. Okay. 8%. What is 8% as a decimal? 0.08. Good job. Not 0.8. And so when you do this, it's in the 100th column, 100th place. So this is 8 over 100. We can reduce this to 2 over 25. Okay. Once we have that fraction, we can simply write it as a ratio. So 2 to 25 like this. Okay. As a percent now, going back this way, 1 over 10 is simply just 1 divided by 10, which gives you 0.1. So 0.1 as a decimal, times it by 100, you get 10%, and write this as a quotient, 1 to 10 like that. Okay? How many of you got all of this correct? Good. Okay, so if I ask you a couple of questions like this on the test in a multiple choice, there you go. Straightforward, easy marks. Write each as a unit rate. So again, define for me, what is a unit rate? For how much? For how many? For 1, right. So price for 1 or something per something. So some synonyms for it. 1, per, each, every. Okay, so all of these means unit rate for unit. $75 was made in 3 hours. So what is 75 divided by 3? We get 25. All right, if you write that on the test. Dollar and per hour, right. Your unit is both, right? Not just one. So not just hour, not just dollar, it's dollar per hour. This 555 divided by 5, we get 111. And my unit?
Per hour.
Yeah. You took a breath in between. So kilometer per hour. So both units in the unit rate. Okay, so I'll put a big star right here. Include both units in unit rate. Okay, that's what unit rate is. Okay, so make sure you remember that, both units. Chelsea can cut 35 pieces of dry wood in 7 hours. Write a unit rate to show how many pieces of dry wood can be cut in 1 hour. So what's wrong with me writing it like this? Yeah, decimal. And also, what's wrong with this? Why is it not 7 divided by 35? Pedro?
You can't have a decimal of a drywall. So you would do the opposite way, 35 divided by 7.
Yeah, so the order does matter. So in this case, you are saying how many pieces per hour rather than each hour I can cut like 0.5 of a drywall. Okay. So when you do these questions, make sure you try it out to see if it actually makes sense, if your answer makes sense. What's my unit in this case?
Pieces per hour.
Pieces per hour. Good job. per hour. Okay, which is the better buy? 7 bottles of energy drink for $17.50 or 12 bottles for $28.80? Petro.
The 12 bottles.
12 bottles. What is the unit price that you got?
I got for 12 or 8.
For this.
I don't remember what I got, but I just wrote it down.
Okay. $1. Oh, 2.40 cents. Oh, $2.40 per bottle. That's expensive. Go to Costco. At least that's what your group did. You guys, on your group activity, you guys chose everything from Costco. All right. But why might some people still buy from this store even though it's more expensive? Yep.
They might not want that much energy drink.
Okay. Don't want so much energy drink. Too much sugar. Don't want so much. Okay. What else? What other reasons might somebody still buy the more expensive one? Yeah. Sorry. Any?
What was the question?
Why might somebody still buy from the more expensive store? What'd she say? So this one was the better buy, but why would people still buy 7 bottles for more expensive?
Because that's how much they need. Or they don't have money.
Okay, not enough money. Cindy?
Maybe because the store is nearer.
Yeah. Okay. So convenience. I don't want to carry so many bottles around. And the flavor. Okay. Yeah. Flavor. What else? Brand. That's right. Gatorade, Powerade. Who likes Gatorade? Who likes Powerade more? Oh. They're both sugar drinks, actually. Okay. Yeah. So some people don't like Powerade. Some people just prefer Gatorade.
In the test, if it's a question like this, do you want the reasoning as well?
Possibly. Hint, hint, hint. Okay. So that's why I'm taking this up with you guys right now. Okay, back face, solve each proportion. We did this yesterday. Read the question carefully, round to 2 decimal place. People don't read the questions. Okay, the easiest method, I think, is just cross multiply, divide. I taught you guys both ways. You can do either or, it doesn't matter. So let's say I do this way. So when I cross multiply, 3n equals 2 times 45, which is 90. So when I divide it, n equals 30. That's it. Just like that. Done. Second, same thing. Cross multiply. And then divide. So 2.5 times 2.3. I get 5.75. And then you would always divide by the number in front of the variable. So divided by 3.6. So n is... good. 1.5972. Yes. Round. Read the question carefully. Round. So when I round this, it gets to 1.6. You can write either 1.6 or 1.60. Okay, so this is a tricky one because the 7 boosts this up to 60. Next, just cross multiply, divide. When you multiply, you're multiplying the one with the both numbers, basically. So n equals 4.6 times 2.9 divided by 1.7. When you do a lot of these, you'll know which way to multiply and divide. 4.6 times 2.9 divided by 1.7, you get Yeah, 7.84705. So I round this to 7.85. 5 because I want 2 decimal places. So looking at this, I look at the number to my right. It's more than 5, so that means it boosts this up. If it's less than 5, I keep the 4. Okay. A car can drive 275 kilometers on 15 liters of fuel. So 275 over 15. At this rate, how many liters of fuel are needed to drive 350? 350 go on the top or bottom? Top. Good job. Because kilometer is on the top, liter is on the bottom. Yeah, good. So when you cross multiply and divide, x equals 18 what though? Units. Otherwise you lost half a mark. Not 18? 19.1. Okay. The question did not say what to round it to. So on the test, if I forgot to say, please remind me, and then I'll let you guys know. Yeah. So I'll if I don't write it on the test, it's because I forgot to write it. So just remind me, and then I'll tell you. Usually 1 decimal place.
How is that? I got 90.
Oh, good. So let's this 15 times 350, you get 5,250. When you divide it by 275, you get this. So if you are to round it to 1 decimal place, it will be 19.1. But what's my unit? Liters, right. What frustrates me is if this question is only worth 1 mark, and you get and you write your final answer as like, let's say you write this. Round to 1 decimal place. Let's say the question says round to 1 decimal place. And then you just write this on the test. What frustrates me is I know you got the right answer, but then you just lost half a mark for rounding and half a mark for the unit. And so you get 0 out of 1 for this. All right, so make sure you don't lose these silly marks on the test. Okay, we want the full mark, units, and proper rounding. Hey, moving along, 13, at deli counter, 12 kilograms of cheese. Pedro really loves cheese. I'm picking on you. So, okay, so technically, should we write 12 over 79.95 or 79.95 over 12?
75 over 12.
Yes. So money always comes first. That sounds weird. That sounds wrong, but in math, money always comes first. And then on the bottom, 20, right? And so Brian says 12 kilograms of cheese is not enough for me. I want 20 grams. So let's see how much he has to pay then. Right? How much did you pay for 20 kilograms of cheese?
133.25.
Sorry?
33.25.
0.25. Good. This question, I did not say what to round it to, but you should know to round it to 2 decimal places. So whenever it's money, you know it's automatically 2 decimal places. Okay, so even if I don't tell you, you should know. Round to decimal place. Okay, percent. Some of you had trouble with these ones because of the wording. I know it's weird. 35%. Change that to a decimal, so 0.35. What do we say of mean? Times. A number. N is 75. 75. Okay. So when you translate each of these words in math, that's what it looks like. So how do I solve for n then? Right, divide. Because you want n by itself, so you would divide it by 0.35. So doing the opposite. So 75 divided by 0.35, you get 214.29. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one was tricky. Okay, what percent? So that's my unknown, so I'll put x. Of again means times. Oh, I shouldn't have used x because now it looks like yeah. 90 is means equal, and 55 means 55. Alright, so I want x by itself. I want to solve for x. That means I have to move the 90 over to the other side, which means I have to divide. I have to do the opposite. Okay. Have you guys learned about how to solve variables? In grade 8 or with me? I forgot. In grade 8? Okay, because we will do more of these later. My grade 10s are doing the harder ones right now, so sometimes I get confused if I told you guys or if I told the grade 10s. So if during the lesson or during class you have no idea what I'm talking about, let me know. I might be thinking about my grade 10s. So 55 divided by 90, you get 0.61111. Alright, is that my final answer?
No.
Why not?
61%.
Percent. It was asking you for the percentage, so I have to times it by 100%, which is 61.1%. On the test, I'll write down what to round it to. And then this. A tent was purchased for $299.95. That's an expensive tent. How much HST was charged? What does HST stand for? Yeah.
Harmonized sales tax.
Harmonized sales tax. Who came up with this name?
It is not harmonized.
Our government. Our government came up with this name so that he can charge us how much percent? 13%. Yeah, so they really did just come up with a new name so that they could charge us 13% extra on everything. Yeah, so welcome to Canada. So how much HST is charged? So be very careful with this question. It's only asking about the HST part. So should I be timesing by 1.13 or 0.13? 0.13 because I only want the tax. I don't want the total cost yet. Yeah. Alright, so 0.13 times 299.95. And you get this. Whoops. So, what's my final answer?
$.
Yes, good job. Dollars. Proper unit, proper rounding. Don't break a penny. And so what's my total cost? Good. I could either do 299.95 plus 38.99 and then get the 338.94. What's one way for me to check if I did this correctly? What can I do to check? Yep.
299.95 times 1.1.
Perfect. All right, so that's a second way to check your answer, and you should be getting the same answer. Okay, so that was the first 2 pages of the review for homework over the weekend. I'll go back to it. This, the back 2 pages. Don't forget, answers are provided right here. So make sure you try the homework questions. Check your answer, and if you go on Brightspace, give me 10 more seconds. If you go on Brightspace right here, There are extra questions if you want to get perfect on your test. You want to ace it. You want to make sure you try every question. Here are the extra questions you could try. And answers are on the bottom. All right? One second.